And we're kind of looking at this going, well, hold on a second. Those guys came.
There we go. My mic should be working now. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. As always, this is the s01ep06 Twitch stream. We're the studio behind Off Grid. Just a small indie team. There's roughly 5 of us making the stealth hacking game Off Grid, which is essentially a hacking game where data is your most powerful weapon. So yeah, if you haven't checked us out before, please go to any of the links outlined on this lovely blue page of information. Yeah, you can find us on Reddit, on Twitter, on Instagram, on all the stuff at Off Grid the game. You can go to YouTube and check out some of our previous streams and trailers and bits and pieces. And essentially, I'm here to do a bit of a dev stream. I've been doing this for a little while now. I kind of take you through a sort of dip into what we're making, how we're making it, through the lens of the modding tools for Off Grid. So it's a hacking game that you can hack. It's a hacking game that you can make your own levels, make your own hackable devices, write your own apps or hacking tools in the game, and just generally kind of tell your own stories through writing up scriptable conversations that you can have in chat windows and bits and pieces. So the modding tools make it quite extensible, which is quite exciting, like from our perspective, because we want people to tell their own stories about data privacy and hacktivism and all that good stuff. You know, everything that's important, everything that is now kind of common parlance. In the last couple of years, you can't really get away from hacking, and you'll find that there are stories in the news that misrepresent hackers and hacker culture, and the whole point of making a moddable hacking game is for you folks to help put that right, to tell more diverse stories about hacker culture. So we last week gave a kind of a brief overview of how to set the modding tools up. That's I mean, at the moment we've got a nice little group of folks who backed us on Kickstarter at a certain level called Pen Tester or First Access, and that gave those people this kind of first access look at Off Grid as we develop those tools. If you're not part of that group, then taking part in the Discord and being an active community member and chatting and waving and saying hi and just generally getting involved in discussion and letting us know that you're interested may give you an opportunity to get in and test alongside that elite group of people who are on First Access. But essentially, those lucky people who are, and us lucky people who gained the support of those folks via our Kickstarter campaign a month or so ago, they now have keys to the game, or at least the development stream of it, through Steam, and we have people already making mods and uploading them to Steam Workshop. So I guess another kind of brief note, and by the way, let me know if the volume is out on any of this. I always forget to check with you folks. You can let me know in the Discord or in the chat here. I'm just opening both windows up. There we go. So, where's it gone? There we go. Yeah, do let me know. Volume's okay. Will mods come to Steam Workshop? Yes, mods are already part. Like we've basically we've integrated the Steamworks API, and have been testing it for a little while. We've done modding workshops and we've had people successfully upload mods using our modding toolkit to workshop. So they are part of the workshop thing, and although obviously they're not publicly visible to everyone yet, there are mods starting to populate our workshop page, and that was actually pardon me, I just had my dinner. That was something I was going to kind of lead with for the stream. So DV1XER, so Divixa, maybe. Yeah, I can show you some of the mods that we have going on as a kind of first port of call, if you're interested. Hopefully you are. So without further ado, let me just check my windows. I will switch over because I thought one of the first things we could do was look at the mods that people have created in the last sort of 6 or 7 days that the modding tools have been available. Because if you're watching, you're laughing at my pronouncement of your handle. So people who are watching tonight, who watched last week, will be aware that, well, let's get rid of this starting soon text. We'll be aware that I've actually put out a kind of call out to there'd be some prizes essentially to the first person to put a mod up that was sort of substantially different to just the template mod level that we have, and you know, worked. It had to run, and yeah, it had to be you know, have a hackable device or an interesting room that someone had built, or something that was just a little sort of sprinkling of creativity to show that they'd not just sort of gone through the process of setting up the modding tools, but had a little think about something they'd like to make. And then the other prize that we were gonna kind of put up for would be the best mod over the next few weeks. So the timetable for first access and the folks who are in the testing stuff is that we'll put out a major update of this early pre-release version of Off-Grid, the development version of Off-Grid, every 5 weeks. And I'll throw in a few competitions here and there, and this one will run through that 5-week period to about the 15th of January. So for those of you interested in modding out there who have first access to Off-Grid, yeah, you've got until the 15th of January to either be the first person to put up a mod, although we're going to have a look and see if anyone has successfully completed that challenge, or the person to put up the mod we like the best. So that's you know, that's about a month, just under a month, which is, you know, it's a good amount of time. And as we'll see with Off-Grid, you can kind of make stuff pretty quickly. So yeah, let's jump into this. Just gonna pull up the right page. Where is it? Full desktop. There we go. That'll do me. There we go. Should be able to see me now. Yeah, for those of you that aren't so familiar with Steam and Steam Workshop and where to find it, you know, if you were using the level kit tools and the modding tools for the first time, and me kind of guiding you through how to like find the properties thing and go to betas and put in the right password and then pull out the stable branch of the first access stuff, if that was all new to you, you might not be aware of the community hub and how to get to a workshop page. So it's kind of hidden sometimes. It's a bit weird. Like you kind of select off grid or whatever game. It might be Monster Garden or it might be Quadrilateral Cowboy, as mentioned in the chat earlier. But in this case, you select off grid and then you hit Community Hub, and it will take you to this page here, which this pretty important page. You know, it's got a huge amount of stuff in it: discussions, screenshots, artwork, broadcasts, videos, workshop, news, guides, reviews. You know, I mean, a lot of this stuff is not being kind of pushed up yet, because obviously there's no guides to off-grid because it's not been published yet. It's not even finished being made. But we do have a workshop, and obviously I'm in one of the s01ep accounts looking at this stuff. Let's just make sure we're in the center of the screen here. You know, that means that I get to see everything that gets uploaded, whether it's uploaded as a private or a public mod, because as admin of the page, I have to have that oversight, I suppose. But if we click here on well, most popular, it actually shows us everything, and it's over time period, 3 months or whatever else. And let's sort by most recent. So there we go. So these are all our test mods that have gone up here, up to these 3. And so that actually means we've got 3 mods that have come in the last week. Looks like a couple of them might just be tests, so we'll see whether they're kind of relatively empty or whether they are something of interest. And even if they are, thank you to the folks who have already put something up and tested the process and gotten their head around it. That's pretty cool. It is exciting seeing people making mods in off-grid. You know, before the game is even out, you know, folks got a taster of the demo during Kickstarter, but they haven't seen the whole thing yet. So yeah, if you're new to Steam and Steam Workshop especially, this is how you get to the workshop page. And what you do is you click on the mod, and there's this subscribe button. So I've subscribed to that one already earlier, and it looks like this is the first one to go in, and that one went up pretty much the day after. Is that right? The 13th? Yeah, that went up like about 9 hours after the beta was out for people to play with, or the first access was out for people to play with. So that's impressive. So we'll see what they managed to push into that. That's who's that from? Semaj Yalsten. So let's subscribe to all of these, and I'll have a look and see if anyone's won a prize. So subscribe to Kali Test. I wonder whether that's anything related to Kali Linux. And I think that someone's taken one of the textures from the game and popped it there. And that one, 15th. That one's a few days ago as well. So yeah, people got some stuff up and in there pretty quickly. So subscribe to that as well. That's Katie's mod. So who knows? Maybe Katie's mod will take off and turn into its own thing in the same way as Gary's mod did. Although it's obviously not built in the source engine, so not as much physics. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these. Right. Oh, that's current visibility hidden. So I'll check all these and see whether they're all hidden. That's public. Okay. That's hidden as well. Well, I will just show you how these subscriptions work. So basically hitting the subscribe button then means that it downloads them for you, those mods for you. And then if you head back to your library, to games, to first access, then when you launch Off-Grid now, you'll actually get those mods in your map view, available for you to play. Is it right? It says it's running. Oh. It does this. Let me know when I'm back with you. Because actually, basically, pushing play on the game while live streaming for the first time in Steam, it seems to do something a bit weird. Everything goes really laggy for a moment. Hopefully I'm back with you now. I think I'm back. If people in the chat can say thumbs up that I'm back, that would be awesome. Essentially, yeah, when you first hit I am back. Perfect. Yeah, sorry about that. There's this thing that happens when you hit play in the game. It essentially goes really laggy and kind of does something to the stream. I'm just gonna mess around with the music quickly because obviously I've switched over to the game music. Audio levels might be a bit loud for the music. Again, give me a shout as to, you know, whether the game music's a bit loud. But yeah, so back to this stuff. We'll hit new game and it should send us to the map screen. And here we go. Here's two of our tests. Residential house, my first off-grid level, and test 1 residential house. So 2 of them are showing up, 2 out of 3. There might be preconditions on others that mean that they're not. Test harbor, hello world. Pre-apostle map introduction. Harbor shouldn't actually be in there, which is interesting. So yeah, let's try. Test 1 was the first one in. So where is that? Let's just double check this stuff. Community hub. Workshop. I think it was test 1. Test 1 looks like that was the most recent one. Then Carly test, then Katie's mod. So I have a little bit of information. Well, actually, Katie's mod, that's interesting. Katie's mod does. Oh, yes, the mod obviously houses it, and that's called house, I think. I know that because I know Tofu Vendetta, who made Kali Test. I know for a fact that they were testing out whether they could actually make a mod with a version of Unity ahead of the version that the game is built with, and that the recommendation for setting up level kit to make your own levels is. And I thought it might break things, and the first evidence is that I can't see it appear on the map for me. So there's a little kind of public service announcement, PSA, which is use the right version of Unity. I think you know, it's probably not worth doing the work testing out and making something beautiful. If you go a version forward in Unity, its backwards compatibility is actually really poor. Partly because every time they patch or do a major update with Unity, they put in feature sets that have dependencies. So for now, if you're modding, use Unity 2018.2 18F1, not the latest version, which is 2018.3. That has some really nice features in it that will make your modding easier and will make our development easier. So I will make sure to, well, we as a team will make sure to update to that at some point. But for now, you'll want to be sticking to using 2018.2 F1, 2018.2 18F1. So let's, without further ado, this looks like this was the first one that went in test one. Let's see if it works. Well, it's reading it. Says it's playable. This is obviously, some of this stuff is debug information. You won't see it in the end game, but let's have a quick look. I did have a look at this one briefly the other day when I saw it go up, and I didn't get past this, but I was in the middle of doing a few other things, so I didn't stick around for very long. There's definitely some kind of issue here, because I can hear buttons in the background behind this texture. As if the map scene or something is active behind it. Might be a bug with mod testing stuff. Might be a bug with this mod, depending. I wonder if Simej Yalston, if you happen to be in the chat or in the Discord, drop me a line. Let me know that this worked locally for you ahead of putting it up. Yeah, so I think I'm probably gonna have to crash that. What we might also do, we'll subscribe to a mod that I know does work, one made by Josh, who is the junior art intern that we'd had, who did a lot of very good testing of the modding stuff with us. So let's close that for a second. You're gonna end up with a freeze. So I know that this museum ought to work. That being said, I've seen it on his machine, not on mine, so you never know. This is the world of live demos, folks. You are at the mercy of the demo gods. So let's see. You're going to have a freeze from me again in a second while I just try and launch the game again. So bear with me. I guess you'll have sort of 10 to 20 seconds of me freezing. You probably have to let me know I'm back again. Installed grid. Ready? think I'm back. Let's hit play. One thing that I haven't actually checked, did we... Well, there may be a bug that I actually have to look into to do with that forced GL core stuff that I was looking at last week. Yeah, let's hit new game. Let's see if here we go. Here's more mods, I think. Oh no. No, the other one hasn't downloaded yet. Or has it? Harbour. Science Park, the museum. Cool. Oh, Harbour could be the other person's mod. Let's try this one first. This one ought to work. It's been tested a couple of times. Let's see. That looks like it's loading. That looks promising. So there is a working mod. This is nice. This is, as I said, this one has a little bit of an unfair advantage in that it was made by our junior artist Josh, who works with us part time, and we're training the wicked arts of game dev. And one of his things he was set to do was to make an interesting mod that threw a load of bits together. But like this is proof of concept of what you can build. So pretty cool. Sounds like I've set an alarm off. Well, here we go. Hey, welcome to the Device Museum. Thanks. This is fun. Josh is typing. Enjoy the level. Thanks, Josh. Nice. Cool. A door. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Well, there's definitely some stuff to find. There's an ID card on the table here. Scan that. Yeah. Nice. Here we go. This is pretty cool. So, that's proof of mods working. That's something in workshop. That's kind of answers Devixer, or I think we said Devixer's question earlier, will mods come to workshop? Here's one working in workshop. So essentially, use this. Essentially, the Josh is saying there's something I should look for in here. Use the switch. You mean this? Nice. Yes. Disco time. So this is using the Lure API to change the colors of the lights. That's pretty good. Nice. Yeah, without further ado, I'm going to jump out of here and quit the menu, and we'll have a look at one of the mods that went up since I issued the challenge to the community to get their first mod up. I'm afraid to say to whoever it was that made test 1 that I don't think your mod is working, I'm afraid. So you haven't pipped anyone to the post there yet. It might be that everyone has struggled to make a mod that does actually work through workshop, although hopefully that isn't the case. So yeah, Semad Jalston, I'm afraid I can't get your mod working. You'll have to get in touch with me and we'll get to the bottom of that. So Carly test, I don't know, that, I wonder whether that's using the Harbour. We'll see. I mean, I think that I can't tell whether this one is showing up on the map or not. I don't have any metadata about it here either. Yeah, I can write developer comments so I can write to people about stuff. Cool. Let's pop back into the game. Let's see what we can find. So Science Park Harbour. First access is me. That's test one's the one that I tried that was broken. Harbour. Shall we try the harbour? Could that be the Kali test one? Might be. Let's see. See whether this crashes anything. It's loaded. It's a new test. There we go. I wonder. This could be the Kali test one, or it could be Katie's mod. Can't tell yet. Let's see if there's anything else in here. So this is the basic template room that you're seeing here. Doors network. Things are working in the most basic way. See if anything has been done to the laptop in here. I mean, but like, folks, like, thumbs up. Things are working. So if this is David's, yeah, this is just the basic template. So, nice one. Like, if yeah, this also might prove that even if you make a mod with 2018.3, oh, there you go, and that completes the level going out that door. Hopefully that'll drop us back in the map. There we go. Cool. That's a mod that we just completed. Although the one thing I did stipulate was I hope the people who put the first mod up just changed one element of it, like made a hackable device different, you know, changed the geometry a bit, did something a little creative. So if it's the only mod up, then it might qualify as winning. Or if test one can debug stuff with me, Semajiaston, then there's the outward chance that one might win. But to be honest, if this one here, House, which I think might be Katie's mod, my first off-grid level, if this one has interesting working content, oh, let's see, it's in the template again. I mean, that's maybe I didn't make it like enough of a stipulation. No, there's stuff in here. There is this is Katie's because there's the slippery sign. Nice. Well, it's thrown some stuff in. There's some interesting lighting on these boxes of newspapers. And there is a hackable, well, not hackable, but there is an oven in the middle. Here we go. Nice. There's an oven in the middle here, missing a collider, but that's fine. It's kind of fun to walk through that. It looks like, has the screen been changed there? It's got the SHA, it might just have the SHA wiki on. Let's SSH into it. This is a button, sub button too. Cool. Yeah, Katie's has some stuff thrown around in it. I'm pretty excited that people have been making mods. It's good now. Kali Test says it's just an empty upload to Test Workshop upload. Oh, right, I see. Well, that one can't qualify then. So, is there any chance to get access to the game now or wait until release is the only option? That's a good question. I've been looking at Slackerbacker options. If people show enough interest, I mean, obviously putting that kind of thing on a store around about Christmas time is not necessarily the best idea. But I think in January I may well have that open to you. I'm thinking I'll set something up. So keep an eye on this space. Keep watching the streams, and I should probably make an announcement along those lines. It will be at the basically, if you check out the Kickstarter page, you'll see that it was a fair kind of size pledge for getting this kind of first access to the game and getting involved. I think it was £32, so something like $38. It's an interesting one. Like they say, like from a marketing perspective, for like making sure that you get out the gate with as much momentum as possible, you shouldn't do pre-sales of a video game. So for us, it's a case of trying to keep that those folks who are just interested in playing the game at the end when it's done, instead of pre-ordering it, we want people to wishlist it and be ready to buy it on day one. So Divixa, the answer is the TLDR. The short answer to that is yes, there probably will be a way to get access to the game now on this kind of first access level. I'm doing a Slacker backer thing. That Slacker backer thing will involve high level pledges they'll be a bit more expensive than they were on the Kickstarter, because I have to kind of say thanks to all the people who backed early, and their benefit is being there. But it would probably be somewhere in that kind of £32, sort of $40 to $45 mark for the first access. But I'm still making a plan, and yeah, you can bemoan me if that's too much. It's just one of the ways that we can try and make sure that people are basically buying in order to be part of the first access, rather than just try and pin down a copy of the game early on. Hope that answers that question. Yeah, that will include access to some of the kind of limited edition stuff that we did put up in the Kickstarter, like the off-grid challenge coin and the hacker stickers. Those are sort of physical items that people were quite keen on, and so I think I will probably put that stuff up as a high-level pledge. And even kind of buying yourself in as a character in the game. So there were a couple of things that involved kind of being able to add custom content into the game, write your own social media post, or even become a character in the game. That stuff I think will probably end up going in. So yeah, that's 3 mods. I think basically Katie's mod probably wins, because she is the one who put in some additional content for us. It's not a huge amount, but it is, having a look in at the props and throwing some stuff in and having a go. So Katie, if you're watching, drop us a line. I will ping you to say so via Steam as well. Hopefully you'll get that message, and we'll work out getting something to you as an off-grid prize. It might be a t-shirt or a hoodie, or some swag of some kind that is off-grid related. Also, don't be dismayed if you were excited to do something similar. I'm also at the end of this testing period, until the next major update, which is I'll tell you about some interesting stuff we've got installed for the update in January that I'm working on already. If you wanted to try and win some swag through putting a mod up, you still can if you make the most interesting mod before the 15th of January. Then you have the opportunity to still win, and I'll probably stream on that day when we do the major update and have a look at all the mods that are in there. I think I'll probably get the team to vote on their favorite, or maybe even poll the community in the Discord. That might be quite a cool thing to do. Cool. Yeah, so Divixa says, great, I will be checking the Discord and Steam page for any info. Still do not know how I missed the Kickstarter company? Well, yeah, to be honest, you know, we're small, so seeing this kind of stuff, it's so transient. I'd be interested if you could let us know in the chat how you did find us. If you didn't see the Kickstarter, it would be cool. Felipe Cassis, I will try to start building my mod this week. Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear. Yeah, like I said, there'll be a chance for winning some swag if it ends up being the best mod, or the mod that the community or the team or the, you know, general kind of consensus is for what the best mod is over that 5-week period until the next update on January 15th. And then after that, I'm going to keep running competitions around the modding stuff, because I want people making stuff and getting excited. I'll find new and interesting things to do. So I'm talking to some people who make comics that we like. I'm talking to some people who make hardware that we like. I'm also talking to folks who do training courses and bits and pieces in InfoSec and hacking. You know, I will let you know. But basically, it might not be every single testing iteration, you know, which is, like I said, every 5 weeks going to do an update. But if I can, I will organise prizes for mods as regularly as possible. There are a lot of active modders right now. Through the Steam recommendations, that's cool. That's cool to hear. Looking for games like TIS 100 and Shenzhen IO, and Off Grid came up. That's cool to hear. That's exactly what I want to hear. So Cheshire says, are there a lot of active modders right now? Well, there are 3 that have uploaded mods, and I would suspect there's more than 3 that are making things. So that's pretty good for the first week. In first access, we've got quite a few people in that room. Just so you get a brief idea, we basically had 550 or 560 backers on Kickstarter, I think, or something along that line. So quite a few people, I think 109 backed at a level that gave them this first access. So there's 109 people who showed interest to the point that they opened their wallets and helped us with funding the Kickstarter in order to get first access. So yeah, there's a decent amount of people. And then, you know, there's obviously only a finite percentage of people that then actually open the tools or get the key and find the time in that first week to make something. But I'm hoping as many of those people as possible do eventually start making stuff. So yeah, it is pretty exciting. So yeah, Felipe says, I've been following you guys for a long time and I was really excited when I found about the Kickstarter. Cool. That is very good. Watch Where My Dog's At show. Watch Where My Dog's At show. Okay. What, on YouTube? Cartoon Network guy. Oh, hang on. Is that a bot? Have I just been botted? If anyone can report that Where My Dog's At show is actually an amazing InfoSec hacking show, then that would be great. If not, then Cartoon Network guy, tell us why we should watch it. Cool. Well, that's my little update on mods in Off Grid. People are making mods. These are the mods. They're nice little test runs to start with. Hopefully, as we go, people will be making more extensive stuff, setting up some of their own hackable devices. I think the easiest thing that you could then do as a modder would be basically find the device script for a laptop like this one and swap out some of the buttons, these buttons, for some functionality from the off-grid API. And I will bring up the wiki. Pardon me, I keep burping. I'll bring up the wiki so that you can see what I mean by the off-grid API. But basically, any of those buttons can call pretty much any of the stuff from the off-grid modding documentation, and that includes the animator, color, lights, noises, particle effects. So you could just make the laptop spark and spit out coffee cups, or whatever. You can make it fire fireworks if you're really good with particle effects in Unity. You can use all of the extensibility of Unity editor to make some interesting stuff. And then you can use the API to make sounds and do interesting things. Unlock doors if you want to use the doors lure API. Setting up zone names, different access levels for things. There's loads of stuff you can do. So yeah, thank you, Janaria, Tofu Vendetta, and Semajialston. I'll be getting in touch with each of you via the via Steam Workshop to say hi. Can you watch Where My Dog's At show? Cartoon Network guy. I don't know. Can you? Can you? Without further ado, should we have a look at how to make something more interesting? Or when I say more interesting, how to extend that template that we've seen in these couple of mods. I think that might be worth doing. What can I'm so terrible with this stuff. Does Twitch give me the ability to block this guy? Timeout user, ban user. Can I time them out for now? There we go. That's deleted their messages. But only for 600 seconds. Well, so then, making your mods. As we saw last week, some of you folks are new to the stream, even new to the game. So I'll give a very brief overview of what we kind of talked about for most of last week's episode, which was essentially about how you can then find the tools stuff. So for pretty much every game that you have, there is a tool set, like in all likelihood, or an API or an SDK, or something interesting that you can use to modify the game, because lots of PC games are moddable, and you don't even realize it. Like, for instance, I didn't realize that the Serious Sam games were moddable, but they seemingly are. So you go to library, you hit tools, and that brings you to this page. And for us, we're just looking for off-grid, and it's off-grid level kit. And you have to do all the same stuff if you have beta access, which is you've got to have the key already to have the game, and then you've got to put the password into first access here. And then it shows you local files, and you browse to those local files. And lo and behold, those local files are a Unity project. And so you just open Unity and point to that project, and it will open this thing up for you, which is, let's turn the lighting off here. It's not just this stuff. This is all the collections of bits and bobs that I was showing folks. They could go through in order to make their own levels last time around. Oh, and I was spooked out by this EMF camp thing, and then I realised that I did a modding workshop at EMF camp, and I would have called the mod that I made at EMF camp probably, because I'm lazy like that. So yeah, thanks again to Josh for helping me work that one out. That was funny. So one of the things like you can do, like if you want to make an interesting mod, but you really don't want to do any of the modelling. There's this s01ep testing facility level, which is quite cool. It should load for me. Here we go. And this was made by Pontus for the express purpose of folks interested in modding but not interested in modeling to start experimenting with stuff. So we'll have a little guided tour of this. It's also cool because it's got a load of these different spawn points in spawn warehouse, spawn entrance, spawn 106 in different places that you can basically spawn a player as you're testing stuff out. So yeah, you can do stuff this way. You can also just start piecing different rooms together on your test mods. So well, EMF camp one may well be broken because I haven't looked at it in ages. In fact, there's actually no scene there for it. So I suspect you can ban a soft block, but I don't use Switch much. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that was probably sent just before we worked out. Cool. So I was going to show you how to write a hackable device. I think that's the basic thing to do. So what we will do. We'll do a couple of things. I think we'll set up some hackable lights, potentially. That might be a nice way to go. So we've got this Fusebox model in the s01ep testing facility. I mean, like this has opened this level build testing facility. It's in a harbour. Build level, I probably have to build new asset bundles for it, so that's going to take a little while. And in the meantime, we'll try and set up a basic script for this device. And you can just copy any of the other devices to get to this stuff. So like I said, you go to those source files via Steam. So we go here and we go browse local files, and that brings up Steam apps, Steam library, Steam apps common folder. Where is this? There we go. And that actually gives us the access to the assets folder for the project, which includes levels, which includes test facility, and in here content. And there's a few devices already in there. There's a dev laptop which Pontus has put in there, which is quite fun because it's got a load of cheats on it for you, like becoming invisible. It's got an app called Ghost App, which you can become invisible by using. It's also got access keys for all of the doors in the level and things like that. I think there is a guy walking around in it, so yeah. But so what we're gonna do, I mean, like if we look at laptop.lua, it should open up in Atom. Oh, sorry that I'm yawning, folks. It's a little late over here. I decided I'd try and do a slightly later stream so that our friends across the globe could watch it, because often I do it at UK time. It's kind of completely awkward for everyone else. So here we go. We have a basic laptop actually. We're gonna make a light groups Fusebox. So what we'd do in the devices folder is create a new file. We'll call it lights Fusebox. We're going to do some cheeky copy pasta just to get a device working. So the way that these devices work, hopefully you can see this close enough. Oh, there we go. I'll just zoom in a bit. That's what I'll do. So basically you define these buttons as Lua tables. You got some basic stuff you can fill in here. The GUI type end cursors. There's like only the one hackable device back end kind of GUI that you can see for now, but that is going to change. We're planning on putting in multiple device types to give you a bit more variety on the types of hackable menus you can get. And I'm going to have to stop yawning, because otherwise you lot are going to start yawning. So for now it's just end cursors, but you know, in the future it'll be different types, and maybe that's something we'll be able to expand together as modders. You've got header, like this isn't the SHA Augur workstation. This is the first access Fusebox. You can change the colours here. I think, if I remember rightly, it's. Oh, I'm not going to mess around with this, because last time I did, I got it wrong. There's, I think it's colour dot, but there was something weird with brackets that it didn't like very much. Oh, I kind of really want to do this now. But you can change the color here, I think with color, background color, dark gray. There we go. This is looking correct to me. Green. That should work. So I guess let's start by just testing that. And what we have to do now is we've defined the device, but like that's not in the mission script itself. So what we then want to do, let's go back to here, content, mission.lua, sorry. So the mission scripting stuff, and remember this is all documented in the wiki, so if you need to follow up on some of this stuff, you can go to the modding categories, or you can go to the modding page, which is here, and this has a list of all the interesting stuff, and this, that and the other. The device scripting stuff is covered here. This is what I'm going to take you through. It kind of has examples and some code that tells you what's doing what. So we've just changed, you know, the colors here. We're about to do some stuff with the buttons, but we're gonna test this stuff works first. We're also going to do some stuff with the mission scripting, because you actually have to define where these devices go. I actually made a page recently called Hackable Object Creation that kind of outlines this. So choose a mesh. We have done that. We've chosen a mesh. It was that Fusebox mesh. We've not added the Hackable component. We haven't added the mission object component yet either. Set up Lua device script. That's what we're doing here. So I will be good about this stuff. Do it in the order. Well, try and go back and do it in the order that the tutorial outlines. So add a component, mission object, and now you can see it gets this sort of cog thing pop on it, and then make that hackable, and you can see that has actually changed to this little, again, sort of Wi-Fi symbol. Incorrect layer used, so you get some validation stuff that'll also be in validate here. So here we go, fix that. It puts the layer up here to be mission objects. Incorrect tag must be hackable devices, fix that, and that changes the tag to hackable device. We're also going to add a hackable component, and that gives you a load of stuff to do with Unity events. We'll go into that later. Then the kind of major thing that it then goes through is actually adding it to your mission script. So we have to set up the device, and that's done like this. You can just copy this code here, and go down to the devices section. It's Lua, so you could kind of pop the table anywhere, but like this is already predefined. So we're going to add in a device. It's all a bit ugly, isn't it? So let's fix that. Indenting. I wonder why this one got 3 tabs. So this is defining our device, and as you saw a moment ago, we kind of made a preliminary script for it. So that script is not in scripts because things have changed. It's actually in content. Pardon my typing. Content devices, and then lights fusebox.lua, which is there, lights underscore fusebox. We don't need an owner for this because we're not going to put any kind of restrictions on accessing it. Its internal name is lights fusebox. We'll call it lights fusebox because I'm lazy, like I said. So that is defining the device. It's as simple as that for defining it. We then actually have to connect it. So we do that. Well, how do we do that? We add the device, which is different to defining it. So adding a device is mission.add hackable devices, mission.devices lights. So copy that line, find set up hackable devices. This is kind of some of the other mission stuff. Set up network connected devices, set up other connected devices, doors and keys, sounds. So that's there. Mission.add hackable devices, lights Fusebox, light Fusebox. So the name it's looking for here is the internal, the internal. No, that's looking for the name of the table. So you know the main device table's name. So what else does the wiki tell us to do? One last thing: connect the device to a network. And that's done here. Mission.connect to network, mission.devices laptop, mission.networks, and then we're connecting it to s01ep's 4G network and giving it an access key to that network that the player is required to have. So let's go and find that. So connect device to laptop, networks. Setup network. Add. That's different net device. That's a net device. That's zone keys. Trigger event. Set players network connections. NPC hackable device connections, and that's where we get to here. So we hit mission.connect to network. Mission.devices light Fusebox, and that should be that. We'll save the Lua file there. And the last thing to remember is that we need the Fusebox to have the same name as this device, otherwise it's never going to find it. So I think the devices are a bit further down than this. There we go. So the device object or internal name needs to be light Fusebox. So this is actually called Fusebox 01. So for it to be able to do all the right stuff, we hit light fuse. We call it light Fusebox there. And I'm not promising this is going to work, but mission issues. No rest point found. Can I fix that? No. Build level changes detected, so we have to hit build level there, and that should then notice that game object has changed name, and this is it basically making a load of asset bundles that we then push to the game window. Shouldn't be very long. Should have brought a drink in here so that every time I thought I was going to yawn, I just throw some water down my neck, or water or whiskey, one of the two. It is late enough for whiskey. So we're bundling and compressing some data, which is these asset bundles. And this is the process for testing your own mods, because you don't need to upload them to Workshop to test them. Obviously, you want to test them locally first. We'll build light maps if it needs you to, and do all that kind of lovely stuff. Come on, Unity. Is everyone following along okay? I assume that this is sort of, I'm doing it at a steady enough pace, trying to sort of cram quite a lot in, but I figured, well, we can always go over stuff again. This just hopefully gives you the opportunity to get the overall impression. We can go into other stuff in more detail as we go, but do kind of shout in the chat if things are going too fast, or there's a concept that I mentioned that doesn't make sense to you. So yeah, we've built the level there, and now we go to networking and we hit search for game, and obviously we have the game running in the background here, so it's found it. We tab over and we hit start. You see this has gone black. It's because it's loading the mod straight into the game. This uses a basic kind of local net. It's like it actually uses some what would usually be used for multiplayer setup, and oh, hang on, this happened last time. I've done something wrong. Yeah. You can hear that in the background, can't you? What did I... Oh, this happened on last week's stream, and it was a really obvious... Really sorry. It was a really obvious answer. What could it be? What have I set up? Yeah, Josh is saying last time it was that I didn't build it, but I did build it just now, so validate. Rest point found that shouldn't break it. Networking. Grid, generate nav cloud. Definitely don't want to hit that. Yeah. Oh, last time it wasn't that I didn't build it. It's that you actually have to close the game and build it, which means that you're going to have a crash or a kind of lag from me again while I'm building and testing this thing. So that's testing. That's building now, and then we'll launch the game again. So I'll see you on the other side of this 10-second lag that gets created. Here we go. Should be back with you now. So, is this modding based on Unity asset bundles? Yes, it is. So, basically, the game is, when you make a mod here, it's compiling and building asset bundles for us. And then the networking tool pushes those asset bundles to the game as if they were a patch. So yeah, is a short answer. So we're networking, hit start. This should work this time, and it has. Boom. Oh, invalid hackable device table pass to mission dot. Add hackable device. Invalid hackable device table. I'm probably just missing a comma. Well, here we are in this mod. Oh, we're in a dark room. Well, let's go and fix the hackable device that I wanted to show you. Lights Fusebox. So, why is this device table wrong? Is the question. Characters. Oh, huh. It's because I wasn't paying attention and I made it look like it was inside. This device is inside its own device table. That's correct. That's correct. That looks fine to me. So, hit save. We shouldn't need to rebuild it. We hit stop. And then we hit start. And that should push a different one. The execute script error. Testing facility mission 148 unexpected symbol net equals. Okay. So say 148. Nothing like that. But, that's just I think we've got an additional bracket from where I copy and pasted stuff as well. I bet you that's all that is. Let's get rid of this. Again, save your file, stop the networking, then start the networking. Boom! No Lua errors so far. So now, I mean, the one annoying thing that we've got here is it's dropped us the other end of the from where we want to be, because what we actually want to be is in the warehouse. So here's a quick thing that you can do. If you've got multiple spawn points set up in your level, I know there's one here in the workshop because of the warehouse, because I've seen it before. So that one's called spawn-warehouse. So we can just go to the mission script, and it has the player details here somewhere. Joe, spawn point, spawn entrance. No, we don't want spawn entrance. We want spawn warehouse. So we hit save again. We will then go back to here. We'll stop networking, start it again, and then it will load the Lua, the changes that we just made.
This is private property.
Oh dear, someone seen me and tased me straight away. Whoops. I wonder where it will restart me. Boom. Okay, we got away with it. So now, yeah, that's showing up. That hackable device is showing up. So now we throw on data view, we go to SSH, and we SSH into that device. Watch two stupid dogs. Okay, Cartoon Network guy, I've had enough of you. You're banned. Get out. It's giving me ban user, and I can still add him as a friend. So back to that. So here we go. All we did, we renamed it First Access Fusebox version 2.1. We changed, well, we didn't change any of these buttons. But then these can do interesting stuff. So this Fusebox, we can actually set it up to be to do all kinds of stuff. The thing I think we'll do is set it up to be used to turn off lights as a light group, because it's a stealth game, so being able to do that stuff is pretty handy. So I'm going to tab out. Tab out. So there's maybe that is a bit much. Maybe we'll switch it to a Fusebox another time for changing hackable lights. But for now, what we'll do is get it to add something interesting, like get it to add a file to your inventory. I think that's the easiest thing to do. And there's files that already exist. Yeah. And then next week I'll do how to set it up to actually hack lights instead. I think that's the right way to go. So we can again kind of cheat. Well, it's not really cheating, but we can learn from the other stuff that already exists here. So this is dev laptop. Send staff key PGP. So this is how to assign door keys to the player. Turning the Wi-Fi on. Whether you set the player to invisible, whether it's ragdoll, changing the music. This is quite a fun one that uses the sound API. But let's keep it really simple. And we're going to run mission command. As you can see, that's the thing that kind of runs through a bunch of these different things that you could do. But we're just going to assign the admin level key to the player, which is run mission command doors, assign key to character admin, and then which character mission dot characters dot player. You can see some of this stuff in the doors Lua API page here. Once you've created doors, you can then add them to a network. By adding them to a network, you can make it so that the player cannot open the door unless they have a key. Firstly, you add the door to a network, then you can set the door zone to require a specific key to open it. In our example, where we set the zones require key, doors.set zones, keys, admin key, admin. So yeah. Whilst modding, you might get to a point in development where you need to test features like the patrol routes of guards. So a useful line of code you can add to your mission.setup is player.setInvisible equals true. I mean, that one sounds a bit more exciting, doesn't it, than the doors, but Yeah, I think we're going to go with the card, the key card level, because I think that's important to get people doing, because then you can get through whatever doors you've set up. So essentially we'll go to our lights fuse box, we'll call this button test things, and then a sub button for admin access to doors, and then we just place that line of lure that we had in here, although I've lost it just a second there. There we go. We're going to get it to print. Adding admin key. Cool. And that could be any zone. You can set these zones up yourself to be something different. So, you know, let's, I don't know, DVXer has been chatting quite a lot, so let's just call that access level, name it after you, DVXer. Now we have to change that door zone, and if we were setting up our own doors, you'd be doing this already somewhere, but we go down to the doors stuff here, data, networks, devices, objectives, doors, set zone keys, and we'll set up doors dot set zone keys D was it small d? DV. Just check. Yeah, DV1X3R. DV1X3R. And which, I mean, does, like here you can set whether that can be opened by other ones. We'll make it unique, so it can only be opened when you have this access. DV1X3R. That's actually supposed to be in curly braces. Yep, that looks fine to me. We'll save that. And now the only thing we've got to do is go and set up a door that you wouldn't be able to get into unless you had that access level. So go and grab this door. No, we need the keycard thing for it. So grab this keycard thing. I can't remember where you set the zones on these things. This color, deny color, mission object, scanning. Is it on the main? Not on the main prefab. Swing door with scanners. Yeah. Off mesh links for it. Animator for it. Door script swinging default is locked. Is open. Save GUID is empty. Zone default. So this doesn't have a zone on it at the minute. And instead, on the door script, we're going to make it. Now you are a key. Exactly. You are a key and a lock. DV1 X. And so we'll click that as is locked to start with. And as before, we have to build level because there are changes detected. I should have saved it first. You might have to save it quickly. But basically, that then pushes those asset bundles up. This always takes a while, building the asset bundles. So if you're going to make lots of changes in the level, you usually want to make a decent amount of them. It would be nice if there was a way of diffing the asset bundles and only building the changes, but I'm sure they don't work that way. Well, I'm not sure, but I get the impression they don't. Come on, bundles. And the other thing we're going to have to do, I'm afraid, is relaunch the game, because as we found, if you build the asset bundles while the game is running, at the minute, it seems to not like the mod. We'll test that theory in a second, but pretty sure. Moving temp easy. Access is denied. Try again. Try again. Try again. Might have been because I looked at the thing. Cancel. Might not be worth pulling the game up while asset bundles are building. Although that should all be local changes. Oh no, it is going into. No, that's not being pushed to the game yet at that point. Alright, so now we'll search for the game, hit start, takes you to the map. That should do. Might break it. It looks like it's broken it. Yeah. Let's close this. As before, you'll have 10 seconds without me. Lucky you. So just a second. I'm going to launch the game again. The stream will freeze for a moment. I'll be back in a second. So we should be back again. Hit new game. Wow, well, not that it really matters actually. Go back to menu. Right, our asset bundles should be built. We should be able to search the game. Hit start. Hopefully, our door and key works. So we go up here, and I am expecting this door to now be locked. Nope. It's saying I don't have access to it, but I can. Oh, I probably didn't. I thought I did set it as locked. Well, the scanner doesn't like us, and I bet you if we now go to hack this Fusebox, test things, admin access to doors. Oh, it doesn't give us a file because we've skipped that. That's a separate thing that you do. But now, if this works, what have I done wrong there? Might just be the asset bundles being funny. Let's check this old door. Is locked. Is open as false. Is locked as true. Types. Yeah. Try is locked is off. Regenerate this GUID. Might have been the issue. Networking. No. Build. Build level changes. And let's see if this fixes it. And we'll check that I've saved the mission script. Yeah, I have. Like Fusebox. Doesn't look like there's any. Missing there. So these asset bundles are still building, but I'm going to have to do that same trick again and launch a game, which is going to make the whole stream keel over for a moment. Okay, that's those built. Apparently it's compiling, but just give it a moment. Come on, compile. There we go. Networking. Right. We're gonna launch the game again. I'm gonna close that. Okay. And I'll see the other side. Here we go. So we hit play. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, I think I'm probably going to call it for tonight, and we will come back and bug fix this next week, and then set it up to hack lights as well. So, tab out. Search for game. It's found it. Hit start. It's loading it. Dropping this in here. So that's not access. SSH into that. Well, at least that actually is locked without me messing around. We've got some targeting issues here. My admin access level is not working. Well, I will need to debug this, I think. Set that correct. What do we name it? Well, I don't know what to tell you right now. That's spelled correctly, I believe. Yeah, there's no difference there. Well, I think we're going to leave this debugging mystery for next time. Thanks, stream. Need to go. It's a bit late. I'll see replay tomorrow. Cool. Well, I guess tune in next week. I'll be doing the same kind of thing. We'll get this set of doors working. I'll figure out what I done wrong. Yeah, because I got no idea right now, and it is a bit late here too. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and I'm looking forward to seeing more mods go up on the workshop. As I said, like, get something made, get something up, and you'll be in with a chance to get voted as our favourite mod of the month and win some swag. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can get some interesting prizes going too. Man, that's so annoying. Well, it'll be easy for us to fix at some point very soon. Just need to make sure that that function is running properly. So yeah, make sure to join the Discord. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, all those good things. And I'll get this up along with last week's video on YouTube and listed on the modding Trello board for people. Felipe says thank you Felipe, thanks for coming by. I look forward to seeing you in the chat again. Thanks again all, and good night, and we'll do some more modding next week, so I'll see you then. Goodbye.